This design here says invention in the language of the Time Lords, Circular Gallifreyan, and I'll be using this key here to explain how this design says what it says. And first things first, you start reading at the bottom, and then you go counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. And here I have the design in its final circular form, and our first letter is going to be at the bottom, and it's a little circle. And little circles, they're the vowels, and an I has a line going inwards toward the center of the word circle. So this is an I. In fact, here's another I over here with its line going inwards. And an I is that little vowel with a line going inwards. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight it for you on this here. So that's the I. And then our next letter, if we continue counterclockwise, is a floating circle. And a floating circle is going to be in the second row here, and it has one line modifier on it. So it's going to be in the last column over here. And I'm going to say the words line modifier, which is a letter modifier, and those up here, those determine the columns. So the columns have either lines or they have dots on them. And then the different rows, they're made by different letter stems. So the floating full circle is going to be in the second row. So here we have that floating first full circle, and there's that one line attached to it. A V is a shallow divot, so it's in the third row, and it's like somebody took a bite out of a cookie. And a V also has one line on it. It's in this last column here. And here's that shallow divot with one line. And an E is centered. So these little circles here, they can also go onto the different consonant stems above my finger here. And an E is centered inside that shallow divot. And then we have this floating circle again. It's another N, just like the other N with one line on it. And a T with an I looks really similar to a V with an E. It's just the V, the shallow divot, has one line on it, and the E has no lines on it, where the T, the shallow divot, it doesn't have a line on it, where the I does have a line on it going inwards. So here is the T, shallow divot, no modifiers, I line going inwards, and then our O is floating inside our word circle, and then last but not least, we have another N, a floating circle with one line. So all three of these N's I kind of made a nice little symmetrical pattern with it, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I hope you are too. Bye!